Tonight's contestant might have won second place at the Merida Regional Championship, but they're vying tonight for first place of our Bachelor's Heart. Let's see how it goes down. Welcome to The Bachelor. I am your host, Lady Dunsparce, and through this series, I've been testing out multitudes of partners for our Bachelor Iron Thorns EX. Sometimes opposites attract. You know, what if you could find that future love buried somewhere in your past? Today, we're going to pair Gouging Fire with Iron Thorns and see if opposites really do attract. Let's check out this list. I think I speak for all of us when I say how inspired we were all feeling when Gouging Fire EX was in the finals match of the Merida Pokemon Regional Championships. I'm particularly interested in this Blaze Blitz attack for 260. This is a very, very powerful attack. It does have a pretty high energy cost, but I think paired with Iron Thorns EX, we should be able to get our energies kind of revved up quickly. So with Iron Thorns EX, once again, we're going to be able to block the abilities of all rule box Pokemon. This is really, really useful in this current meta where there's so many rule box Pokemon with abilities that shutting off those abilities is really going to stick our opponent in a sticky situation. Volt Cyclone, move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. The idea is we're going to use our fire energies to kind of cycle through and make sure that both our Gouging Fire and Iron Thorns EX are set up at any given moment. Now, the way we're going to do this is with a 3-3 line of Charcadet and Armarouge. So Armarouge has this ability, Fire Off, and as much as you would like during your turn, any fire energy from the bench can go to the active Pokemon, which is why we want to kind of fill up with as many fire energies as possible, because as long as we have one lightning energy on Iron Thorns, we can kind of recycle and move around our energy all willy-nilly to make sure that we can have whatever Pokemon we want set up. We also have a 1 Squawkabilly EX for the Squawk and Seize ability. In case we start Squawkabilly, this is going to be an awesome way for us to kind of turbo through our deck as quickly as possible, because ideally we're getting ourselves set up very, very quickly. So we play 3 Earthen Vessels. The main point, though, of this deck is to switch. So it's essentially a tango between the past and the future. It's kind of interesting. So we've got 2 Switch and 4 Switch Cart to ideally swap back and forth between Iron Thorns and Gouging Fire as often as we need to make sure that our attacks are the most effective for the situation placed in front of us. We also have Defiance Band that we're going to attach to our Gouging Fire in order to increase the attack power if we are kind of falling behind in prize cards. I love Crispin specifically for Iron Thorns and other typing decks, because this is going to allow us to really get 2 energies into play in one turn, and that's kind of the ideal situation. Future Booster Energy Capsule, also really, really great, gives our Iron Thorns EX free retreat, which is going to be helpful when we are tangoing and switching back and forth between Iron Thorns and Gouging Fire. The ace spec that I'm using for this deck is the Prime Catcher. So essentially works like a boss, but once again, we can switch out a Pokemon that's on our side too. I think Prime Catcher is by far the best ace spec for this particular grouping of Pokemon, because we have to move Gouging Fire every single time we use the Blaze Blitz attack. So we've got to make sure that we've got plenty of switching options. In terms of energy, we're playing 4 lightning energy, 7 fire energy, 2 double turbo energy, and 1 jet energy. We never know when we're going to need the jet energy, but this is going to zoom any Pokemon that's on the bench to the active spot as soon as we attach this. So this could be a really, really helpful way for us to get out of sticky situation if maybe Iron Thorns is trapped up front. We don't have a Future Booster Energy Capsule. So this is for us to be able to kind of creatively move our Pokemon around if needed. Here's a full deck list picture for you guys. While you're at it, make sure to like and subscribe for plenty of Pokemon content. Appreciate you. Now let's get into some gameplay. I'm actually very, very excited to see how this goes. Putting these 2 Pokemon together, Gouging Fire and Iron Thorns, is going to be a unique, I think, kind of experience, because I don't think these Pokemon conventionally would go together. Now, with this coin flip, I think ideally I want to go second, because I'm playing a lot of basic Pokemon. I'm not really dependent on evolution so much in the early game. The Fire Off ability is useful. Okay, we're going to choose to go second here. The Fire Off ability, maybe not the most useful at the early game, but I think that it could be incredibly volatile a little bit later on when we get our strategy going. And I wonder if my opponent knows what I'm playing here. They also got a mulligan. Oh gosh, another one where they see our cards. And okay, so we see Gouging EX. I guess this is another one of those Kanto evolution decks. I've seen quite a few of them on the ladder. And our start is going to be Iron Thorns EX. So right out the gate, we're going to block some abilities. And I am such a fan of that. Especially if we see the EVEX out. Yeah, we see the EVEX. So they're not going to be able to do that turn 1 evolution here, which is like... Whew, Gotta be a little bit worried because it doesn't take much to get EVEX set up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the fire energy and the sparkling crystal right out the gate. I think here, let's nest ball and get Gouging Fire. I think it's probably important to get ourselves our second attacker here. And I guess the choice here is Arvin or Professor's Research. I don't really want to like lose the prime catcher and the jet energy, but I think that's going to be more useful than Arvin. I want to turbo through my deck a little bit. Okay, so let's put the Defiance Band on Gouging Fire and then Lightning Energy on Iron Thorns, Charcadet, and then we're going to use this Nest Ball, get a second Charcadet in case they become a little bit wise and try to knock out my Charcadets early. And then we'll see what they do from here. So yeah, this is a pretty good setup. Ideally, we get like Crispin next turn. A water energy onto the Hoot Hoot. We're going to see the retreat into Eevee, okay? And Iono. So we did play down our hand as far as we could. Hopefully we get some energy moving in here. Okay, we got a fire and a lightning. I also see Armarouge, which is really good. So our opponent's going for Nest Ball here to grab Pheasantipity. Okay. Well, I think that's an odd choice. Okay, we see the Noctowl. I think ideally they want to get like maybe area 0 under depths to fill up their bench. Maybe they want to grab the boss to maybe get Iron Thorns out of the active to use those abilities. Okay, so Nest Ball. What else? Are we going to see maybe a okay, we're going to see Radiant Greninja. I was thinking maybe a second Eevee here. Okay, they've put themselves in quite a bit of risk, but we do know that that boss is kind of imminent. Let's evolve Charcadet into Armarouge. Doesn't really help us now, and then we'll put the fire energy, I think, onto Iron Thorns. And yeah, that's all I want to do this turn. Next turn, we can go ahead and attack and start, like, revving things up with Iron Thorns and Gouging Fire and starting that Ancient Future Tango and Gouging Fire into the active. Now, I have the switch in hand, so I'm not, like, the most worried. Ooh, evolving into Flareon here. Okay. And we see the concealed cards, so they have all of their abilities. Terra Orb. Is there another Eevee? I'm very curious about this Evolution deck. This is the second week in this series that I've actually had to play against it, so I'm a little confused by the strategy of it, but you know, we're trying our best. The ladder comes up with some very interesting decks, so I know my opponent's probably scratching their head right now too. Okay, so 130 damage onto the Gouging Fire. We're gonna go ahead and do I want to switch first? I think I'd rather Arvin first. Let's see if we can get maybe like an Earthen Vessel and Future Booster Energy Capsule here. I want to make sure that all of my options are pretty well set up. Let's attach Future Booster Energy Capsule to Iron Thorns, and then I'm going to Earthen Vessel, switch, and then we'll Earthen Vessel. Yeah, I'm going to attack with Iron Thorns EX this turn, 100%. I'm a little bit worried about my Gouging Fire getting knocked out early. I don't want it to get knocked out early. So let's just Volt Cyclone. And then we'll just jump that over to the healthy Gouging Fire. Yeah, you're seeing me make a lot of random choices. It feels like I'm making a lot of random on the spot choices here. I just want to make sure that I am protecting all of my Pokemon as much as possible here. I know that Flareon has some fairly volatile attacks. Okay, Iono, that's going to put our 2 lightning energy that we have left and the fire energy back to the bottom of the deck. And we got Crispin. How convenient. Very convenient. And okay. Goodbye, Iron Thorns. So they are going to take that first prize. We'll bump the healthy Gouging Fire up since it has an energy. And then we can use Crispin. We're going to get a fire energy and one of those lightning energies. We're going to attach both of those, I think, to Gouging Fire because we need to knock this Flareon out stat. They don't have another Eevee, so they're not going to be able to attack me next turn. So we want to make sure we are good to go. I don't think there's anything else here I want to do, so I'm just going to go ahead and Blaze Blitz. So I have to now get this Gouging Fire out of the active spot in order to use that attack again. But we have I think a switch or switch card in hand. Yeah, we have a switch card in hand, so we should be able to do that fairly easily. Now the worry is, am I going to be able to get everything else set up? I can set up the other Gouging Fire to attack next turn, and we could just do like a little swap-ski potato. Buddy Poffin into 2 Eevees. So we're starting to see the setup come to life here. And concealed cards. Flip. Oh, what a hand. What a hand here. We'll see the attachment of Luminous Energy to Eevee. That's okay. And Iono putting all those cards to the bottom of their deck. Okay, hopefully I get a switching card. I don't. But I get Nest Ball. And I have Future Booster Energy Capsule, so we can work with Iron Thorns. Oh my gosh, and we got the switch. Oh, good golly. This is really, really good situation for us, actually, because we're going to attach the Future Booster Energy Capsule to Iron Thorns. And do I want to Crispin or swap Ski Potato first? Well, Crispin. We just need to get that lightning energy onto Iron Thorns. That's kind of the main priority here because we're going to use the Fire Off ability to take the fire energies off of the Gouging Fire and yeet them onto the Iron Thorns EX. So, yep, Fire Off. And then, yep, okay. And now, yeah, let's put the fire energy there, sure. And then we're going to Volt Cyclone, and we have their abilities locked. So no flipping the script, and now we've got a fully set up Gouging Fire. So this is where the true dance that I've been talking about this entire time happens, because the Armarouge is going to kind of facilitate that energy swap between Iron Thorns and Gouging Fire as we need it, because both of them kind of have their strengths and weaknesses here. Depending on what they throw at us. Oh, Vaporeon. Okay, so Vaporeon is definitely going to be one that we want to knock out with the Iron Thorns because Vaporeon's weak to lightning types. And we have the boss's orders. How lucky. Glass Trumpet to put the water energy on Eevee, and it's our turn. Okay, I think that what I've got to do here is pretty obvious. We're going to first use the Fire Off ability, take one of those fire energies off of the Gouging Fire, put it onto the Iron Thorns so we're fully set up, and then boss, hasta la vista, Vaporeon. Yep. And I'm not going to attach any of these double turbo energies. I don't need them. We'll put the fire energy onto Gouging Fire. It is ready to go. I think the Jolteon has 260 HP, so the Blaze Blitz attack should be able to knock that one out fairly easily. So I think one way or another we do have our opponent set up for checkmate here, which is a little bit of a relief. And okay, I was right, that Jolteon EX does have 260 HP. And they retreated into the Knock Towel. Alright, so this is our game. We're just going to go ahead, attack, and attack here. Not bad. When you think about being able to kind of move those energies back and forth between Gouging Fire and Iron Thorns to make the optimal strategy and to make those attacks happen in the most efficient way possible, it just kind of works out so beautifully. Good game to my opponent. This list is exciting every time I see it, and maybe I should try one of those evolutions with Iron Thorns. Just saying. A love for the ages, of course. Past, present, future. This love is eternal, but is Gouging Fire truly the perfect match for Iron Thorns EX? Well, stay tuned to find out. And if you like what you saw, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other content for future updates. Stay safe, stay positive, stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the next episode of The Bachelor.